started, part of what attracted me to the website is the idea that on the one hand, things there, hopefully many of them will be very deeply researched things, but it's not primarily a, quote, scholarly site that is, it's not like reading your scholarly journal every 3 months. It's really meant just to be read and enjoyed, and you learn from it. And so the range of possibilities, like one of the best teaching experiences I've ever had was that I brought together about 10 of my undergraduates who had in some way shown themselves in a different course and did an independent study on them, where what they did was they did a whole lot of what on the site are these birthday biographies. And these are undergraduates who are not history majors. They were not deep into research. They, hadn't been in archives and stuff like that. And it was like, how can you write 250 words about a person that gives somebody a feel for their lives? I've never seen students love what they were doing as much as that. So there's that kind of range of thing, and then there's the thing where you yourself are doing some research, and maybe it's probably going to be a book, or it's going to be a scholarly article, but a 2,000-word exhibit for us with some visuals and stuff like that speaks to a different audience. So there's a huge range of ways that people can participate, no matter whether you're in the university teaching, whether you're a student, or whether you're somebody who just likes to learn things and then communicate it to other people.
There's a large backload of content to be put on the site, so I'm just thinking of all the different types of help that we need. So there's that technical help of putting content that it already exists or almost exists on the site. If somebody wanted to be an editor of, say, lesbian history and sort of round up lesbian history, or transgender history, that would be great. Those are openings there. So there's content production, there's, if somebody is good at proofreading, we could really use a proofreader. There's lots of typos, I'm afraid. So it's all different aspects are open, and so maybe we could hear from you what kinds of, we'll get ideas by hearing from you what possible ways you can contribute. And I know everybody's time is limited, and they have many other things to do. I think that public history, which out history represents, now is beginning to be taken much more seriously in academia, and that stuff you do on out history, if you're in academia, can help you on your resume, which is something to think about. It's being practical. People outside of academia, certainly like myself, certainly we would love you to participate, and I'd love to work with you and make some wonderful features. There's people in the audience who have contributed amazing original research to out history. So hearing from you about what kinds of things you might think of being able and having time in your busy lives to offer us, that would be, maybe we should start hearing that.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if I could just throw out some categories to you so you could see where you fit in, right? We want to, as Jonathan suggested, we want to create a board of editors. I think, one of the things that keeps coming up in conversations is talk about class. I mean, having an editor for queer labor, and that's your job to be recruiting this material. Having an editor for the birthdays, having the editor for the biographies. We've begun to use something called a timeline maker, the Night Lab timeline maker, and Jonathan has, very vigorously pushed forward the idea of chronology, that we need chronology so that people can log onto the site and see what happened when. We need people to blog. We need people to write articles. And so the idea is you can come in at any level that you want to. Mark Stein, I mean, there's a whole wonderful panel that Mark had here. Mark had a chunk of research money from the Canadian government that he needed to use in a limited time period, and he got hold of us and said, would you like us to work with you to do this project? And that was what they did. But we need a board, a sort of managing board. We're associated with the Fund for the City of New York now, so we can take donations. But how exactly we get those donations, how we run a capital campaign, for example, if you have experience doing that, we would love to hear from you. So.
Yeah, I had a quick